Okay, all right, everybody. So let's get started. So we're going to do reading and speaking as usual. That's what we do on Mondays. So let me quickly share the screen with you. Okay, just quickly before that, is there anyone who's already done true, false, not given in the class? Andrea.
Was that? I didn't get it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you are new. You haven't done this. You
Okay.
haven't done this, Jeb. Yeah.
Yes,
So Ma, because you've done this, so did you want to open the worksheet straight away, or do you still want to, learn the basics, learn the strategy?
yes.
Okay, whatever's easy for you. Okay, all right, everybody. Okay, so for reading, in this morning session, we're going to focus on true, false, not given. And in the evening session, you'll be doing, short answers. So there will be 2 questions, just like every week, every Monday, and one by one. So one would be in the morning session, one in the evening session. So in detail. So we'll see the slide, we'll see the strategies, and after that, we'll do a bit of practice in the class. So today's focus so in the morning class is on true, false, not given, or you can say yes, no, not given. You get these questions both in general IELTS and academic IELTS, but it's just the difficulty level that's different. Okay, so for true, false, not given, task description, I'll quickly get Andrea to read this part for me, please.
Okay. Task description. In this type of question, you need to decide if the statement is correct according to what is written in the passage. Then the answer is true or yes, depending on the instruction. If correct according to what is written in the passage, then the answer is false or no, depending on the instruction. Not mentioned in the passage, the answer is not given.
Good, beautiful. Thank you, Andrea. So when it says depending on the instruction, what does this mean? Can anyone tell me? Depending upon the instruction. So it says if incorrect according to what is written in the passage, then the answer is false or no, depending on the instruction. So this means,
If the question says that you need to say true, false, or not given, and then if it says the false or if it says the no, then depending on that we need to write that answer.
Very good. That's correct. So instructions, even if the false and no means the same, there's no difference. It's exactly the same. But in your instructions, in your questions instructions, if it says it's true, false, and not given, So if the answer is false, so you have to write false in your answer sheet. If by, mistake you write no, the answer would be wrong. Even if the answer is correct, but still the answer would be wrong. So reading instructions is very important, not just for this particular question type, but for all the question types. Okay. All right.
I missed
Yep.
it. Can you repeat again?
So just the instructions I'm saying, so you have to read the instructions very carefully. Sometimes it would say true, false, not given. And for some of the questions, it can say, for some of the sections, it can say yes, no, not given. It's pretty much the same thing. There's no difference. But, so for example, the demand for the answer is false. Yeah, and if you mark no, that would be wrong. Good. All right. Okay. Next is task overview. So this one is pretty much how you have to do it. So the answer is true or yes if the information in the passage, so I'm sure everybody knows that, there are 3 sections in your reading test. And so there would be passage. So when I say passage, it can be one big passage without any paragraphs, or it can have a few paragraphs. and sometimes they can be numbered. So let's say A, B, C, D, in this kind of paragraphs, but it'll still be considered one passage. Okay, so one passage can be one long paragraph or a few paragraphs or numbered paragraphs. So even if it's numbered paragraphs, there can be 8 to 9 paragraphs sometimes, but it is still considered one passage, which means that your answers for each of the question types. So let's say there's one passage and there's 5 true, false, not given. So to find the answers for these questions, you will pretty much have to go through the whole passage. So all the paragraphs, even if there are 8 paragraphs or 9 paragraphs. Okay. When is your answer true or yes? So when the information that's there in the passage matches completely with the information in the question. So always they will never, give you the same words or phrases or same sentences. The questions will completely be paraphrased. So paraphrased means they will use synonyms, they will use, the grammar can be same, but it'll have all the synonyms and a completely different sentence, but the same meaning. So in this case, what you have to do is you don't have to match the words with the words. Always match the meaning with the meaning. If the meaning matches 100%, if it's saying the exactly same thing, the answer is true. Okay, but the answer would be false in case so false clearly or no means that the information that's there in the question contradicts, or in other words, we can say it's opposite to what they're saying in the passage. So for example, they're saying something positive in the passage, but negative in the question. So positive, negative, opposites, or we can say contradictory statements. So in this case, the answer would be yes or no. So the information contradicts. So in passage, they're saying positive. In question, it's negative. The answer would be?
False or no.
Yeah, false or no. Good, beautiful. Next is not given. So true, false. Oh, sorry. Okay. True, false is still fine. It's not that confusing, but the only confusing part can be not given. Because, you'll feel that, okay, some of it is given in the passage. So it might be true, or false, but marking not given can be a bit tricky. The one important thing is if you are unable to find the keywords in the passage, so it's not that you won't find any of the keywords, you will find some of the keywords, but if you feel most of the keywords or most of the information from the question is missing from the passage, okay, it's not there in the passage. So don't worry about reading the passage again and again. You'll just waste your time. So if you can't find it once or twice, the information in the passage, so that means it's not there in the passage. So just mark it not given and move on. And so in this, as I said, you will be able to find some of the keywords. So that means half of the information from the question would be there in the passage, just the basic information, but the main part of the question would be missing. So let's say a few words would be there in the passage, definitely, but the main question that they are asking, would be missing from the passage. So when it's not mentioned in the passage, when the information is missing from the passage, so in that case, the answer would be not given, okay? Even it might look like false, you might feel it's false, but it would be not given. If something is not mentioned, just keep this in mind. If something is not mentioned in the passage at all, But you know, the basic is there, but the main part of the question is not there in the passage, it's missing. So in that case, the answer would be not given. Clear, everybody? Any questions before we move on to the next slide? All good?
All good.
All right. Okay. So now 1 minute action plan. So quickly, can someone read this for me? Kiran, can you please read this for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
The 1 minute action plan. A helpful technique for every reading test. First, take a quick look at the questions to know the type of questions for that particular passage. Number 2, read little introduction and the first paragraph of the passage just to get an overview. This will help you know the overall idea of the passage. Note, the above stages together shouldn't take longer than 1 minute, so practice to do it in just 1 minute.
Beautiful. Thank you. So 1 minute action plan. That means you have to do all of this in just 1 minute. And to do that, you will have to practice from now on. It's not that, you know, you feel, okay, now I can take as much time, but in the test, I'll definitely, you know, spend just 1 minute on this. This is not going to work. So you will have to practice this from now onwards. Okay, so the very first thing that you have to do is, as Kiran read it, so you quickly have to, you know, look at the type of question. So basically, type of question means you have to see, you know, if it's what's the type of question and it's for which passage. And after that, sometimes you have titles. You know, I would say not always, but most of the times you have titles. So it's always better to read the title. Why? Because it will give you, you know, an idea of what the passage is about. So always read the title if it's there. And you don't have to read the first paragraph when it says, you know, first read the first paragraph of passage. You just quickly have to scan it. So not reading it word by word, just quickly going through it, you know, just moving your pen along and just seeing what the information is about, what the whole passage is about. So first paragraph usually gives you an overview. Okay, so as it says, you don't have to spend more than 1 minute here. So you should aim to finish all of this, reading the title, scanning the first paragraph, getting an overview of the passage in just 1 minute. Okay, and we'll start practicing this from now onwards. All right, then next is, so step 1, you know, read the instructions carefully and answer in given terms. We've already discussed this. So if it says true, false, not given, you have to mark true, false, not given. And sometimes it can just be T, F, and NG. So, you know, sometimes it will be full true, false, not given, sometimes just T, F, NG. And the other times it can be yes, no, not given. So whatever the instructions say, just be very careful to write your answers on your answer sheet in the same way. Okay, if you change it, even if the answer is correct, as I said, so even the answer is true, and if you write your answer as yes, even if it's the same, but it would be wrong because the instructions say something else. So, you know, this is as important as finding the correct answer. So keep this in mind. Right. Step 2. Step 2 is reading the statement carefully. Okay. So before this, we were just talking about the instructions and getting the overview of the passage, but now it's the actual questions. So read the statement carefully. So statement means for each question, you have to read each question very carefully. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to read the statement and understand it completely. So reading, understanding it, and side by side, you will have to not really translate, I would say, in your language, but it's just translating into simple words, simple English, which means you will have to think of the synonyms and paraphrase the statement. So read the question, think of the synonyms, because in this true, false, not given, or for any questions for that matter, you always get synonyms. They don't give you the same words or same phrases in the passage as in the question. So it's always different, paraphrased. So read the question, understand it completely, think of the synonyms and try to translate into simple English. Okay, that's the first thing that you have to do. Now, after this, we will, so there's an example given here. So the question is, Ma, can you read the question for me? So this one is the question.
Yes. Question. Maria Curie's husband was a joint winner of both Maria's Nobel Prize. In simple English language,
Keep going.
In simple English language, the above sentences means Maria Curie won the Nobel Prize 2 times, and both times she won with her husband jointly.
Yeah. So does everyone understand this sentence? Thank you for reading it, Ma. So Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner of both Marie's Nobel Prizes. Joint winner means that he was with, Marie Curie when she won the Nobel Prize. So that means both the times they were together. They won the prizes jointly. So this is how you have to paraphrase it into simple words. So this would be the question, and this is the paraphrased version of the same question. So I'll give you a minute to quickly, read it in your minds and just let me know if there's any questions. Just take a minute, read it, and see how you will be able to paraphrase it. Let me know if there's any questions.
I have one question. If question says that Marie Curie has won 3 Nobel Prizes, 3 times Nobel Prizes, then the answer will be not given or false.
If it says, but we don't
Marie
have a
Curie
passage
has
here.
won. No, I'm just saying that according to this, if this question says that she has won 2 times with her husband, but if the question says, I'm just saying an example that if
Got it.
says,
Yep.
so it will be
So in that
not
case, it
given
will be
or false.
No. It'll be false. It'll be false because it's contradicting. So in the passage, it's saying she won a Nobel Prize 2 times, but in the question, it's saying 3 times. So it's contradicting with each other.
Okay.
So in that case, the answer would be false.
Okay,
Good.
it. Thank you.
Yeah. When you ask this kind of questions, that means you'll actually doing it seriously. Good. All right. Okay, everybody. Yeah. Next is step 3, which is, it says L, which means look for the keywords. Okay. Just quickly, Yuko, do you mind reading this for me, please?
Yes, after you got the main idea of the sentence, as what we did in the previous slide, you must look for keywords, phrases in the sentence. When looking for keywords, phrases, consider the key how can I say,
Identifiers.
identifiers. And proper noun, a name of people, places, dates, hours, month, countries, organization, or gently uncapitalized word, numbers, verbs, sentence, time, modals, can,
Modals.
may, must, will.
Beautiful. Thank you, Yuko. All right. Now, next step that we, after reading and understanding the statement, which is the question, paraphrasing it, looking for the synonyms, the next step is finding the keywords in the sentence or in the question. So keywords are basically the key identifiers. So you don't have to, you don't have to look for the whole statement in the passage when you look for the answer. You just have to find a few keywords, just the main words. So they can either be, a proper noun, which means name of a person, place, cities, awards, months, countries. So why awards? Because in the example that we just saw, they were talking about the number of Nobel Prizes. So that's awards, so that's one of the keywords. And it can just be a capitalized word. So these are the keywords that you have to find, that you have to take from the sentence and look for the same keywords in the passage. So same keywords, it can be synonyms as well. So it's not important that you will find the same keyword in the passage. It might be a synonym of it. Okay, so let's look at the example after this. Okay, so it just says if the sentence is long, sometimes it can have 13 to 14 words, So in that case, the sentence is considered long when it has this many words. So just divide it, just split it into different phrases and then break down, understand, and don't just break the words as it says. So breakdown, when I say breakdown of the sentence or statement, so not just the words but the ideas. So if the sentence is long, so it can have a few ideas. Okay, so you just have to break down the ideas, break down the sentence into phrases, and then try to look for it in the passage. Okay, all right, for example, so this one is the so we're going to work on this same passage today. Marie Curie's husband. So this is taken from a passage and we'll be working on this one, doing a bit of practice on this. Okay, so we have this sentence here. Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner of both Marie's Nobel Prizes. So finding or looking for keywords in this particular statement. So the highlighted ones are the keywords. Okay, so Marie Curie's husband, one keyword. Joint winner, second keyword. Joint winner of what? Both Mary's Nobel Prizes. So not just Nobel Prizes, but both of Mary's Nobel Prizes. Okay, these are the keywords. And so dividing the ideas, the first idea here is Marie Curie won the Nobel Prize 2 times, clearly, because it says both. So where do we use the word both? Can anyone tell me? Where do we use the word, where do we use this word?
When the things are common in both of the instances.
So both means, can it be more than 2?
No.
No.
Only 2.
So yes, that's it. Good. So both means 2 times. Okay, so in simple words, the first idea is Marie Curie won 2 times because it says both, and you will have to do this, it's not that, so if you have any of the statements, to understand it, to to be able to understand it properly, you will have to translate it into simple English. So this is the simple English of it. So one is she won 2 times. And second idea is that both the times she won the prizes with her husband. So her husband was with her both the times. So that is 2 times. Okay, so understanding the statement by translating it into simple English or paraphrasing it into simple words and dividing the ideas. Okay, clear everybody? Any questions so far?
No, thank you.
No.
All right, then finally, the final step here is, this is the last step. So does anyone remember what was the first step? What do we do at the very beginning? Sorry?
Read the instruction carefully.
Beautiful. Number 2.
Action plan.
Okay.
Easy
So
English.
after action plan, the number 1 was reading the instructions carefully. Then what was number 2?
To think easy English.
Yes, beautiful. So that means reading the statement carefully or understanding the statement. Well done. What was number 3?
Find keywords.
Beautiful. Well done. And number 4 was just simple breaking down the ideas. So which we did the sample here. Beautiful. Good. Well done. All right. Last step for this particular question type. It is locate your answer in the given passage. So this is pretty much the same like finding the keywords. Okay, but in this one, the another important thing is sometimes you will find the information, let's say, related to the question in 1 or 2 sentences in the question, in the passage, sorry. So the question, information in the question would be there in the passage, but in different words. And let's say you found the location, but sometimes in the passage, they can have words such as, for example, the sentence finishes and the next one starts with however or although, so any of the contrasting words or so in that case. So if you see any of these words, if can be another word. So it can be conditional if, however, although, but, so if you see any of these words right after the sentence where you found your answer, it's very important to read that additional information because the answer can completely, they can completely change the answer. So to confirm your answer, you will have to read the next few sentences. So it's not always, but only if you see any of the words, giving contrasting information. So those are just, however, although, but, and conditionals if, and if there's a word so, so that means they're concluding it in some words. So it's better to, confirm your answer rather than marking it wrong. Okay, is it clear, everybody? So this was the last step that you have to do. So locating your answers in the passage with the help of keywords. So that means you just have to look for the keywords in the passage. And sometimes there can be additional information given to you with the use of words, which I just told you, however, although, but, any of these. So in this case, you will have to read the next few sentences as well, just to confirm your answer, okay? Because it can completely change the answer. So always confirm it rather than marking it wrong. There's no negative marking even if you mark your answer wrong, but we need points. We need to get good score. So do your best. And in case you cannot find anything, so there's no negative marking, just guess it and move on. All right. That was it for your true, false, not given. And this is just how you have to mark. So if, so If in a statement there are three phrases, which most of the times there are. So if phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 3, they all agree with the passage, so the answer is true. If there are two that agree, but there is one that disagree, so that means the information does not match. It's disagreeing. That means it's opposite. It's contradicting. So in this case, the answer would be false. Similarly here, so one phrase can agree, the others disagree. So wherever any of the phrases disagree, wherever the information is opposite, it contradicts with the passage, your answer would be wrong. Okay, there can't be any other answer if it contradicts. And if the information is missing, so some of the information would definitely be there in the passage, but the main part of the question would be missing from the passage. In that case, the answer would be not given. Okay. All right. Any questions about any of the whatever we did so far? Because we're going to do one sample question after this. And if there's any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll move on to the sample question after this. Check. Any questions?
I just want to know if the question is given, like suppose about the Marie Curie, suppose, and there are two statements which agrees on that, if on the one paragraph. So will that third sentence necessarily be in that same paragraph, or it can be in different paragraph as well?
Third sentence.
I mean, just example.
The phrases.
Yeah.
No, it'll be together. It'll be together.
Together, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
if you find half of the information in first, let's say first paragraph, first sentence, so it'll be together. It's not that they don't split the information, but it's just the answers can be anywhere in the passage. They're not in order. So you can find your first answer in the first paragraph. Your second answer can be in the fourth paragraph. So they can just be anywhere and everywhere. So most of the times they're not in order.
And yeah, okay, got it. And the words can be same, or it can be, totally paraphrased, because sometimes if it's totally paraphrased, then it's very hard to, search for that. It can be a tricky one.
It can be completely paraphrased.
Okay.
But in case of general IELTS, there would be same words given.
Awesome.
But in case of academic, it can be completely paraphrased. They might not give you even one same word, except for the proper nouns, which can be, everywhere in the passage.
Then I need to get general book now.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, because you're giving that test, so it's better to practice, general tests as well. You're more than welcome to do the academic ones because they're difficult. But because you're sitting for general IELTS, so it's a lot easier. So yeah, just practice that along with academic.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. So just one question here.
Is there any free general test booklets available on the internet? Because I can find academic ones, but not the general ones.
No. So when you say you get books from the library,
yeah.
So in any of the IELTS books, so there's both academic and the general tests available. Make sense? Or it's not there?
No, but in the front page it says that academic IELTS test.
No, even if it does,
I
think you should be because all the books that I have, so they have both academic and general tests.
Okay, I'll look for that.
So yeah. So if in case you can't find it, just let me know. I'm happy to send you a few. of the books.
Okay, good.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So let's read this particular question. Don't bother reading. You can definitely see the answer here. Don't bother reading the translation. Just read the question quickly. And then I will show you the passage. Passage means the paragraph. Just read the question and we have to find the answer for this one. So what you have to do is you have to read the question, understand it completely, paraphrase it into your own words in simple language, and then find the keywords is the next step. And if in case you have to divide it into phrases, do that. And then we will move on to the paragraph. It's just reading the question, not the rest of it. So just the part that I've highlighted. You know the answer for this one, but still we'll try and, do it with a paragraph. All right. Read the question, everybody? So this statement should not take long because we've already done this one. Okay, so after reading the question, you have to find the answer in this paragraph. So let's try and find the answer. Even if you've read the answer, but still look for the answer and just tell me where and where is the location and why do you think this is the answer?
In the third line, at the last two words are sole winner. So it clearly states that she is the only one who wins the second Nobel Prize.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So here it says, so they're definitely talking about Marie Curie. And then after that, they said she was twice a winner of the Nobel Prize. So twice, that means she won it 2 times. With her husband, Pierre Curie, the Henry blah blah, she was awarded Nobel Prize for this. So 1 Nobel Prize she got with her husband and this person, and was then the sole winner. So after that, she got another Nobel Prize for chemistry, but she was the sole winner. Sole winner means she was the only one, so just one person. There was no one with her at that time. So the question says, Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner for both Nobel Prizes. But in the paragraph, it says that her husband was part of first Nobel Prize, but not the second one. So contradictory information, it contradicts, it disagrees with the passage. So if it disagrees with the passage, the answer is always false. Okay, clear everyone? So after this, we're going to move on to the practice, which is the worksheet for today. So if you have any questions regarding what we did till now, just let me know. And synonyms and paraphrasing the information is very important. Just keep this in mind. Okay, and there can be some references like pronouns. So I'm sure everybody knows what pronouns are. So he, she, it, they, those, which, whom, so all of these words. So in this case, you should know what this particular pronoun is referring to find your answer. Okay. All right, everybody. So now let's move on to the practice. If there's no questions, so I want you all to open the reading worksheet in your module. This week is module 11. So open the reading worksheet in module 11 and let's do a bit of practice. Okay, let me share the screen as well. Okay, Jep. Jeb, are you there Turan? All right, everybody. So module 11, and just go to reading section, and it says communication reading, student copy. So just open this worksheet. And again, I'm going to open the teacher's copy after this session. So because there are a lot of passages, a lot of text in this worksheet, we won't be able to do all of these in the class. So we'll be focusing on true, false, not given now. But so in the evening session, there would be short answers, but the rest of the questions, just do those at home. Okay, and I'll open the answer key for you to check the answers. Not opening it now, I'll open it after this session. Okay, so let me know when everyone has the worksheet on their computers. It's actually travel, not communication. So this week is all about, learning vocab on travel, and even the speaking is on travel topic. All right, just let me know when everyone has the worksheet on their computer screens. So I want you all to open, so it's page number 9, and it's the title is The Life and Work of Marie Curie. So we're just going to continue the one that we did in the sample. Let's just open this, your computer screens, and let's get started.
Pardon, just I couldn't find the reading. Where is it located?
So it's in module 11.
Module 11. Okay.
Yep. So just scroll down a little. Let me share the screen again. So module 11, this one, and you go down a little bit and it says reading.
Okay.
So there's vocabulary, speaking, and third section is reading.
Mm-hmm.
So in reading, you can just see one worksheet, and when you click on it, it'll open.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, it's this one. So I just want you to go to page 11, page 9 after this.
Okay.
Okay, which is this one.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, everyone. So Okay. So Marie Curie's passage. The title is The Life and Work of Marie Curie. This is what we're going to do now. Okay, so I have the questions on, so you can just look at the questions from my screen. And so I have the passage on the other side. So we'll try and do a few questions together, and then I'll get you to do the rest. Okay. So we've done number one already. So number one is Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner of both Marie's Nobel Prizes. And the answer for this one was?
False.
False.
False. Yeah, the answer for this one was false. And it's in pretty much the first paragraph if you still want to know the location. All right, let's read question 2 quickly and try to paraphrase it. Look for the keywords. So keywords are pretty much highlighted here. And Laveen, just read the second question and try and translate it into simple words. And I just want you to look for the location of this one in the passage.
Sure. Should I translate now and tell you, or?
Yep. Yep.
So it says that from the childhood, she was whether she was interested in science or not. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So so the keywords in this one are, so definitely Marie Curie is one of the main keywords, but this pretty much the whole passage is about her, but it even talks about her husband and kids and siblings. So Marie Curie is one keyword, and interested in science and since childhood, that can be the keywords. So now let's look for these keywords in the passage.
Paragraph 2.
Second.
Okay, good.
From childhood, Mary was remarkable for her prodigious memories and that she.
Okay, so we've got one keyword, that is childhood. But does it say she became interested in science when she was a child?
No,
No.
not given.
Not given. Beautiful. So we don't have any information about, science, that she was interested in science or not. They haven't provided us any information. They've just talked about a bit of her childhood, but not about her interest in science. So in this case, we have half of the information, but the rest of the statement, which is important, is missing. So in that case, the answer would be not given. Beautiful. Good, everybody. Now is question 3. Quickly, let's get, who would like to paraphrase this one for me? Question 3.
It says that based on her sister's financial contribution, she was able to go to Sorbonne University. So whether we need to see where it is. So it's in second paragraph, last line, and third paragraph, first line. So it says that.
Okay, so the keywords are, before that, Laveen, what are the keywords?
Keywords are Sorbonne, Mary, and sister's financial contribution.
Beautiful. Okay. So we have these keywords in pretty much third paragraph.
Also, second paragraph, last line.
Second paragraph, last few sentences. Yeah.
Because it says.
Okay, good. Yes, sister.
Yeah, it says that she herself financed her sister for the university. So Pretty much the answer will be false.
True.
Okay. Yes, good, Ma. Okay, Levine, as I said, in this case, you will have to read the next few sentences as well, because it says, from her earnings, she was able to finance her sister, Bronia's medical studies in Paris on the understanding. This part is very important. So it's still the same sentence. On the understanding that Bronia would, in turn, later help her to get an education. So that means there was a deal that she's helping her sister now, but her sister will help her later on to get some education. Okay, so that means there would definitely be more information related. This is incomplete information. So if we read the next sentence, where we have the keyword Sorbonne, so it says in 1891, this promise. What's this promise? So as I said, the pronouns. What's this promise? This is referring to what here? Can anyone tell me?
It's a deal between them.
Yep. So this promise is about, that she helps her sister now, but later she will help, the sister will help her. So in 1891, this promise was fulfilled and Mary went to Paris and began to study at Sorbonne University. So what is the answer now? Does it change?
A bit certainly change.
Yeah. So in second paragraph, last sentence, we have incomplete information, and it's clearly talking about that, that's a deal. So in turn, she will help her. So to find out if the sister actually helped her, we will have to read the next sentence. So in that one, it clearly says that she did. So the answer, we have the complete information, pretty much in the same, I won't say the same words, but we have the same meaning present in the passage. So the answer is true here. Okay. Okay, the strategy is clear, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's quickly. So we are just left with 3 more questions. So let's quickly try and find the answers for number 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Just try to do it yourself, and if you can't find it, then I'll definitely help you with it. So reading this sentence, reading the statement, understanding it, translating it into your words, and finding the keywords, looking for those keywords in the passage, and then matching the information. Okay. And if it matches 100%, the answer is true. If it disagrees, contradicts, the answer is false. And if the information, the main part of the sentence is missing from the passage, so in that case, the answer would be not given. Right. Hi, Hardik. Hi, Vincent.
Hello, ma'am.
Hey, how are you?
Thank you. How are you?
Good, not bad. We're doing reading.
Yeah.
And so if you're with Levine and Kiran, then you know it. So yeah, okay, all right. Let me know when everyone finishes these 3 questions. You can either put the answers in the chat box or just tell me whatever works for you.
More information.
Okay, answers everybody. You should not be taking this much time to find the answers for just 3 questions.
Fourth is false.
Okay, good, beautiful. And the location is?
Page 10, first paragraph.
False, true. Good, Ma, well done. Okay, good, beautiful. Answer 4 is false. Mary stopped doing research for several years when her children were born. And in the first paragraph, second page, it says that, failed to interrupt her scientific work. So that means she didn't take any off. So she didn't stop her work. Good, beautiful. Number 5.
True.
True, beautiful. And the location is?
Isn't the sudden death of her husband there from until let me see.
Third line.
Yeah, so
yeah.
she was appointed. Yeah, beautiful. Good, Andrea.
Yeah.
She was appointed to the professorship that had been left vacant on her
Yeah.
husband's death.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that means she held the teaching position of her husband pretty much. So same thing in different words. So the answer is true. Well done, Andrea. Good. How about number 6, everybody? Mary's sister Bronia studied the medical uses of radioactivity.
False.
So I think Ma, you said
False, yeah.
Oh, you said false. Okay. Did you find this in the so where's the location for this one? Why is it false, Ma? Why not
I think is not given.
Why is it not given?
Just
Yeah.
when,
Good, Jeb.
when I
So it's in second paragraph.
when I read completely, it's just got my mind as not given. Just I couldn't find it as mentioned. It's just,
You couldn't. Yeah, because they're talking about that she studied medical. She did medical studies,
yeah.
which is in second paragraph here. But they haven't talked about. They haven't mentioned anything about studied the medical uses of radioactivity. So we don't know what kind of medical study she did. So this information is missing from the passage. So missing information or not mentioned information, the answer is not given. Beautiful, Turan. Well done.
Thank you.
Good. All right. Any questions, everybody? Because this is it for reading, and we're going to move on to speaking after this. So let me know if there's any questions. And there are a lot of more, there's a few more texts that you can practice at home. There might be a few true false not given as well. Yep, so there's true false not given as well on the next worksheet, which you can do at home. And I'm going to open the answer key for you to check the answers. Okay, and short answers would be done in the evening. So that's pretty much it for reading for now. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And I'm going to open the answer key for you. Okay, so where it says teacher's copy, so that's basically at the end, it's the same worksheet, but just at the end, 2 pages are the answers for all the texts. So just whatever you do at home, so you can check the answers. If there's any questions, you can always ask me in the class. All right, okay. Any questions, everybody, before we move on to speaking?
Good, thank you.
Good. All right. Okay, everyone. So next is speaking after this. So this week's focus is on part 2 and 3. Last week we did part 2, but this time we're doing part 3 along with it. So there's an assignment as well. Okay, everybody. So if you go to speaking section in module 11, so quickly, let's watch this video. Number 1, where it says lesson speaking part 3, video, what not to do. So you can watch it on your respective computers, respective screens. And so it's just 5 minutes video, but it really helps you, that how you have to answer for your part 3 and what not to do and what you have to do. Okay, so let's watch this video quickly. It's just 5 minutes video. And then we are going to do a bit of practice for both part 2 and 3. Okay. Clear, everybody?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, Jeb, let me know if you can you find it?
Yeah.
Jeb, it's in the speaking section. Yeah,
all right.
this one. Yeah, cool. All right. Okay, so let's everybody watch this. And yeah, and it's just 5 minutes. And then we're going to do a bit of practice. Okay. All right. Then after 1 minute, you have 2 minutes to speak. That means do your speaking test, part 2. And in this one, it's always, start your speaking with an opening sentence. So don't just start straight away with the topic. So for example, the topic is about your favorite restaurant. So you don't have to start straight away with it. You don't have to say my favorite restaurant is so and so. That doesn't give good impression on the examiner. So always started with a general sentence. It doesn't have to be this one, but this is a good sentence if you want to go with it. But you have a choice of using any other general sentence, but we recommend using this one. So going from general to specific means this one. So give a general sentence before you actually move on to the specific topic. So we can always just say this one. So if it's about favorite restaurant, so we can just say there are many or there are a lot of restaurants which I could talk about because I like to eat, or I enjoy eating or trying different cuisines. But today I'm going to talk about my favorite restaurant. So I will talk about, I would like to talk about, you can just change this part, about my favorite restaurant. So general to specific, okay? Always try to use this sentence in your part 2. And you have to use the clear ideas, and a good sentence range. So not just using the simple sentences over and over, you have to use different type of sentences. So you really have to, show the examiner your English skills. So your grammar, good ideas and sentence range, everything. So whatever the ideas you have, you will have to explain each of them in detail because it's 2 minutes. When you're actually doing the speaking, 2 minutes can be, a lot of time. So, you'll feel it's just not finishing. So that's why you will have to explain everything in detail. And so to make your sentences complex or compound, you will have to use these expressions. So for example, I'm sorry, not these ones. Yeah, yeah. So you can use these ones as well, or we can just use however, although, but, if sentences, conditional sentences, or in fact, on top of that, above all, as a matter of fact. So all of these expressions, you would need these to make complex sentences. The next thing is intonation is very important. So intonation basically means, so wherever in a sentence there's an important word, so a bit high pitch and low pitch. I'm sure everybody knows what intonation is. So when you go high and low, so wherever there's an important word, or there's there's a word after comma, or it starts with a capital letter, it's a proper noun. In that case, your voice, your pitch would be a bit high. Otherwise, it'll be normal, at a normal pace. And word stress is pronouncing the words correctly. So for example, in these 3 words here, so for example, if we talk about the first word, which is photography. So in this one, the stress is in the middle 3 letters. So T-O-G, TOG, photography. So in case you say you pronounce it as photography, so that's not the correct pronunciation, and the examiner would be making notes. Anything that you mispronounce, or if you repeat anything, if you're taking pauses, so the examiner would be making a lot of notes. So just be careful. So to practice this, that's an important thing. So to practice this one, it's always better because you won't know if you're pronouncing it correct or not. So it's always better to record yourself. at home. In class, it's fine. You're doing it with me, so we're fine. But at home, let's say you don't have a partner to practice with. So it's always better to record yourself. Just grab a topic and prepare for 1 minute and do 2 minutes speaking, record yourself, and then listen to yourself again. And you will notice your errors if you were taking any pauses, if you repeated any words, and if you mispronounced any of the words, okay, and where you need improvement. So that's the best way to practice your speaking if you don't have a partner. If you can grab a friend or family member who you can practice with, that's always the best. All right, the next thing that you have to be careful here is don't speak too quickly. So don't rush to finish it off. Take it easy, just relax. So just speak at a normal pace. You don't have to go very fast. You don't have to go very slow. So when you kind of try to rush, when you speak very quickly, it just happens. You make a lot of errors. You take pauses, you repeat words, and it just happens. So don't rush, don't speak too quickly, just at a normal pace so the examiner can understand each and every word you're saying. And so even if you won't have timer in front of you, examiner will have it. So in this case, don't worry, even if you feel that it's 2 minutes, but don't stop. The examiner, when it's 2 minutes, the examiner will stop you. They stop you at 2 minutes, but sometimes they can go, so they can be 10 seconds extra, which is fine, but you don't have to stop. The examiner will stop you. Don't worry about the time, just keep talking, keep explaining the topic. And while you're speaking, if you feel you've made some error, let's say you've mispronounced a word, or you used the wrong tense. So instead of using the past form, you used the present form. So in that case, if you know, and you know that you can correct yourself, you know the correct version of it, so quickly correct yourself. Don't leave the errors there. So you can do this, it's not wrong. So don't leave the errors. If you feel you can correct yourself, just do it straight away. Okay, so just you don't have to say anything, just repeat the sentence and just say the correct version of it. Okay, and the next thing is your hand gestures. So if you are in a habit of moving your hands,
Excuse me.
sorry. Yep.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I want to ask that you told us that try to speak steady and natural pace, as well as if you are making mistake and you recognize it within fraction of second, repeat correct sentence again. So I want to ask that if we make any mistake and then repeat sentence again, do the examiner can cut our mark because of that mistake, instead of we are going to correct our correction?
The examiner is going to deduct your marks anyways because you made an error. But if you correct yourself straight away, then
Yeah.
there are still chances that the examiner would know that you did it in a rush, so in the flow,
Okay.
and you know the correct version of it.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry if I said repeat the whole sentence. You just have to correct the error you made. So for example, if you mispronounced a word while you were speaking, so just that word, sorry, don't repeat the whole sentence.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's my bad. Yeah. All right. Next is hand gestures. If you are in a habit of moving your hands while you speak, while you talk, so just control that, and just sit properly so that you would be sitting on a chair. There would be a table in front of you. So the best way is you can either put your hands on your lap, on your thighs, or you can just put it on a table in front of you. Sit properly in a nice manner, and no hand gestures. Just keep your hands on the table. And maintain eye contact with the examiner. The examiner might not look at you, so throughout the speaking, he or she might just be making notes, They might not look at you even once, but you still have to, just pretend that they are looking at you and maintain eye contact accordingly. Because whenever they look up from making, so whatever notes they're making, if they look up, so if you, you're looking at them, so maintaining eye contact, that's very important. So yeah, it's not important that they won't look at you completely, but most of the times the examiners are just busy writing, whatever you say, whatever errors you're making, or whatever the good points there are. So they don't usually look up, but you still have to pretend they are, pretend that they are looking at you. So maintaining eye contact accordingly. And the next thing is just practice. So one way is get a preparation buddy, which is friend or partner or family member, anyone. And if you don't have any of that, so just record yourself on your mobile phones. Okay, and so practice making notes. That's part of the speaking preparation. So don't just practice speaking, practice making notes as well. So using that 1 minute which you get in your part 2 is very important. So practice making notes and speaking. All right, that's pretty much it for part 2. Does anyone have any questions before we move on to the actual practice for this week? And this is what the cue cards look like. Jeb, you haven't seen the cue cards, so this is what the cue cards, the topics look like. Okay, all right, Andrea, were you saying something?
Oh, no questions. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, everyone. So now in your module 11, if you go to speaking section, so number 2, it says speaking practice part 2 and 3. Just open that one on your computer screens, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is the topic, as I told you, that this week is all about travel. So you're going to get a lot of vocab or speaking and writing. It'll all be based on travel. Okay. Okay, so as I told you, this is the sentence that you can use when you start speaking. So there are a lot of, so it's about tourist attractions. So tourist attractions I can talk about because I like to travel, or traveling is my hobby. And whenever I have free time, I like to travel, international or national, depends. But today I will talk about tourist attraction, of my favorite tourist attraction, which is, and then just mention the name of it. And so after that, you have to, in your cue card, you pretty much have to address all the bullet points here. So, the question is, describe a tourist attraction you once visited. So what kind of tense are we going to use for this particular, based on this particular sentence?
Past tense.
Past tense, because it says you once visited. So that means it happened in the past. So yeah, just remember to use past tense. So correct tense. All right, the first bullet point says when you visited it. So when, you have to give, so you don't have to give the exact date or time. So just in general, a few years ago, in, if you remember the year, just say that. And, or it can be, so when can include if it was in certain seasons. So it can be summers, winters, autumn, spring, whichever it was. That can be your explanation here. And where it is situated. So you have to say where is it. So that means if it's if it was a, if it's in another country, so give the name of the country, what city, and what was it in general, what attraction was it? Was it a museum? What can be the different type of tourist attractions, everybody?
When I speak about the tourist attraction, I have tourist attraction. That means one place or one city, can be city, country, one place. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't really matter. So you can either talk about one particular attraction. So, for example, let's say in Melbourne, we can.
Aquarium, for example.
Sorry, aquarium.
Example.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that can be. So it's either you can just talk about that. So you will give a bit of detail about the city, that it is located in this particular city. This is where it is, and then just explain about the aquarium a little bit. And or if if you don't want to talk about just one thing, so you can always talk about the city in general.
Yeah.
So that won't be wrong. Yeah, so examiner, so content does matter, but in your IELTS speaking, it doesn't matter a lot. So you should be talking related to the topic. You should be speaking something related to the topic. Don't go completely off track and you'll be fine, because you're not marked on the basis of content. You're just marked on the basis of your fluency, your pronunciation, the type of grammar you use, and your understanding. So of the grammar and everything. So even if you're not you don't have to go off track, but you can talk about one place or the whole city. It doesn't matter in this case.
Yeah.
Okay, and next is whom you went with. So when you'll be answering all of these bullet points, they really take up a lot of time. So I think you'll be fine. So whom you went with, so you have to tell if you went with your family, if it was friends or whatever, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, and say what about it you like the most. And to pretty much to talk about the last bullet point, and which is usually the same for all of it, it can just say explain why you liked it, something like that. So for this one, we'll just use another sentence here, which is there are several things or experiences that makes this holiday the most memorable one for me. And it can be about any topic, so not just holiday, even if it's about favorite book. There are several things why I like this particular book. Firstly, give reason and extend it, so explain it. And so you don't have to say firstly, secondly, thirdly. You can always use the better connectors here. Okay, and this is basically a template for you, which you can use for any of the topics. Okay, and part 3 questions are basically, whatever you answer in your part 2, the part 3 questions are based on your answers. So the examiner is just making notes. Why is the examiner making notes? Because he has to form the questions for your part 3. So part 3 questions are based on what you answer in your part 2. Okay, clear everybody? Let me know if there's any questions, or after this, let's do a bit of practice. So this is the topic, and you have a template here as well, which you can use now. And so let's do a bit of speaking practice. So let me know whosoever is ready to go for the speaking first. That
Hardik.
is
Yep.
Hardik? Okay, yeah.
So
Go
should I
for it.
start?
Yeah. Do you want to keep a timer in front of
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Should I start now?
Yeah.
There are too many locations available in our beautiful world to visit, and here I would like to talk about the most fascinating place
where I have visited with my family. Uh, its name is Melbourne, and Melbourne is situated in the southern part of Victoria Strait. Uh, if I talk about this journey, then it was really fascinating. I have visited this city with my family, so I can say that I had good company because my all loved ones with me. Uh, Actually, the reason to visit this city is to watch the match between India and Australia. So first of all, we have visited the iconic playground of MCG and spent 4 to 5 hours over there. Enjoyed beer with my family and watching thrilling test match between two teams. After that, we went to one famous fort which is situated in the middle of the city. So we went there with the local transport. So by this way, we had a look of the magnificent buildings of the CBD. And apart from that, I have also visited to Dockland, which is full of natural beauty. There is also one merry-go-round situated, and by enjoying that merry-go-round, I can see the whole city from the top. Uh, Moreover, I can say that the Melbourne is full of natural beauty as well as generous people, and also the nightlife is very famous. So in the night, we visited one famous club, and I met too many generous people over there, and the whole experience is unforgettable, and I love to visit this city again and again. Thank you.
Good,
It's a
beautiful,
2 minute
well done.
explain.
Yeah, yeah, good, good. It was good, Hardik. Just one thing, as we, so pretty much the same like essay writing. So avoiding repetition of words. So if you feel you kind of repeating this word over and over, so instead of visited, can we use any other word? So what can be the synonym for visited?
By somewhere.
Sorry?
Stop by somewhere.
Yeah, okay, we can say that. Good. Because you, repeated the word visited a lot of times. So instead you can say, explored,
Yeah.
or I'm sure there would be more words. Let me quickly check. And yeah, so try to, because now we are in a practicing stage. So topics are repeated, so the main topics are, for example, this week we are doing travel, last week we did communication. These are the main topics, whatever you get, so if you have certain vocab ready for the main topics, so then you can get any subtopic and you'll be able to use that vocab there. So yeah, so not repeating, whenever you repeat words, and not using synonyms, not paraphrasing it, so that doesn't give a good impression on the examiner. So yeah, so yeah, and just otherwise it was fine, but try to use some complex sentences, the words such as so the words that we make use to make complex sentences with. So just however, although, but, or if sentences, or when, conditional sentence, or as a matter of fact, in fact, apparently, something like this. So to add better expression to your speaking. Okay. Otherwise you had plenty of ideas, which is fine.
Thank you.
Good, beautiful. All right, good, Hardik. All right, who's ready next? Ma, did you want to give it a try? Okay, so we're just left with 5 to 6 minutes. So whoever is interested in doing a bit of speaking practice, please, let's just do it. Ma, are you there? Ma, Andrea, Jeb, Levine.
Can I try?
Yes.
Karen?
Yep, can I try?
Yeah.
Okay. Levine, you go, and then Ma, after that, it'll be you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I start?
Yep.
Yep. So there are a lot of tourist attraction I have visited in my life, but I'm gonna talk about a good attraction, which was St Kilda suburb, which is located in Melbourne, and I went there with my friends, and that St Kilda suburb. I visited St Kilda suburb mainly because it covers the St Kilda beach and the Chapel Street. St Kilda beach is a very popular beach in Melbourne and more specifically in Australia, because it has beach is covered, beach is totally clean, and there are a lot of food trucks available at the beach, which gives you a delicious food. And there is another then we went to Chapel Street. Chapel Street is totally famous for the restaurants, pubs, and various ice cream parlors. So we went there in the evening time because it was summer season, so it's better to visit in the evening. So we went there to have I mean, delicious food. But surprisingly, I found the Indian cuisine, which was located in that same street, and we had a delicious garlic naan and butter chicken. Uh, After which we walked on that street, and then we took a tram as well to go to ice cream parlor, and had a popular ice cream as well. And lastly, we went to home with our good memories. Yep. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Good, Levine. Good effort. But I'm sure you realized there were a few pauses. So when I say pauses, so it's